Hey guys, it's Kevin and Frank from Cruising with Wheels. We prepared a special video for you today, so stick around.
Now, when you're sailing on a cruise, the big question comes up is, what about religious services on board? I mean, generally, a lot of these cruises set sail on a Saturday or Sunday, and people want to know that they can still go to Mass or go to service. And so we're kind of going to go over what the cruise ships offer in the way of religious services, and also special occasions on board, like renewing your vows or getting married outright on the ship on an island. So yeah, a lot of exciting things. So let's start with religious services.
Okay.
Okay. So let's start with Carnival. Now, Carnival has a policy that they don't have clergy actually placed on board.
And frankly, this is pretty much across the board with most of the cruise lines we've found in our research.
Now, it's funny because you can go online and there are job applications for clergy that they advertise for rabbis, Protestant ministers, and religious service leaders, and even Catholic priests. So those of you out there, you want a job on a cruise ship.
I wonder why they advertise if they don't. They all have policies that they don't put that clergy people on board.
I know, but generally, as a company, they don't have a paid position where they will always have someone on every ship, on every sailing. That being said, they say that if clergy is traveling on board during a cruise, they do welcome them to volunteer to lead a service.
You mean I could lead a service?
You could, yes.
Because I'm ordained.
I know. So the volunteer clergy, they have to bring a letter of good standing from their religious organization with them to provide to the onboard staff. And they would be allowed to do services.
Interesting.
Now all the ships have chapels. Can we say that outright?
Pretty much. But if they don't have a chapel,
they will have an area.
They'll have an area that they'll not cordon off, but they might use. I'm trying to think back of we were on an NCL ship, and I can't think of which one it was on. And you were sleeping. I went out to get us coffee and stuff, and they were doing a service, but they were doing it in one of the restaurants.
Okay.
And the reason why they were doing it in one of the restaurants is that they did have a chapel, but they were setting the chapel up for a wedding. So they were doing sunrise service. So you need to check your
newsletter,
your freestyle daily, your fun ship times,
Princess Patters, whatever the ship cruise line calls it, to when or if religious services are being held.
Right.
Now on Royal Caribbean, they offer one interdenominational service for all faiths per voyage. Now that's kind of their given.
Right, that's their given.
Yeah.
But you know what I wanted to say about that is that I find, and I haven't looked past and seen what's in our notes for it, but I find that on every sailing we've been on, that's usually the norm.
Right.
They will offer one regardless of what line it is.
Right.
Now, I will tell you, in particular with NCL, back when we were on the Gem in when was Matchy Matchy Couple?
Oh gosh, who knows? I have no idea.
I'll link that above if you want to see that. But I found that on that sailing, there was a large Jewish contingency, and they had a Seder
Yes.
for them, and they arranged all that. So I find that the cruise lines do a great job of knowing their client.
Right, and they
knowing
also
what they
know
need.
that during a particular sailing,
Right.
whatever events are happening. We're going to be talking about that in just a second. But Royal Caribbean, now, they're not able to guarantee that a priest will be on board, but they do try, and again, we talk about specific occasions like Christmas sailing and Easter sailing, that they will try to get a priest on board.
And you know what I found interesting is they also said that for repositioning.
I know, and I didn't
And that kind of scares me.
It's kind of like the kind of final blessing of the ship before it goes off somewhere else.
Could be. It could be. I never thought of that.
You know, but in the absence of any clergy on board, because it'll happen that they have no one to connect with, a crew member on board will conduct the interdenominational service. So there will be someone to lead.
And I'm assuming they've probably been ordained, like
Right.
me, which was an interfaith
Right.
adornation. Is that a word?
I don't,
Did that come out of my
I
mouth?
don't know. It sounded official. But they also say that when a priest is on board, the priest will conduct a daily Catholic Mass as well as separate interdenominational services and provide counseling for passengers and crew members who may be in need. So, wow, that's cool.
That is cool.
And again,
Now, in specific with when it comes to Passover, Passover begins at sundown and will continue for 8 days. All ships organize a Seder service, and that's what I was
Right.
speaking of specifically when we were on the Gem. On the first night of Passover is Seder, and then all ships will have a rabbi or cantor on board as well. And this is specific, again, to Royal Caribbean
Right.
when we reached out to them. In the absence of a rabbi being booked on a Royal Caribbean cruise, the ship will ask for volunteers to conduct the Seder service on the first night of Passover. And this function is usually held in the Windjammer, which is their cafe buffet area. And following the Seder service, there will be a Seder dinner, usually also in the Windjammer. And there will be a traditional meal prepared, including brisket, potatoes, etc. And the dining room will have baskets of matzo available upon request during Passover season.
Okay, cool.
And information on the place and the time of the Seder service and meals will always be printed in the cruise compass.
Always.
And again, that information is all specific to Royal Caribbean.
Right.
And now we move on to
Norwegian.
Norwegian.
Again, they do try to get a priest or a minister, rabbi for major religious occasions, just like some of the other cruise lines. Again, it's not a full-time position on all the ships, and they do try, again, Christmas, Easter, Yom Kippur, etc.
look.
Yeah, and again, the services are done in a public venue like the theater or a large conference room or
a restaurant.
Restaurant where you found it. And again, if there is a priest or rabbi traveling on, they will reach out. So.
And everything will always be posted in
Right.
your newsletter.
Yes.
We can't say enough.
Read it always.
So on Norwegian cruise lines, it is called the Freestyle Daily. So check that out.
Now, as we continue on, we're going to talk about special occasions.
Right.
You
Now,
have booked a cruise because.
now maybe you booked it because you're having a wedding anniversary or a birthday or it's your honeymoon.
Or it's your 25th anniversary and you're going to renew your vows.
Or maybe you're going to get married for the first
You're
time.
like, I'm going to get married on a cruise. Or I'm
And
going to
you-
get married in Cozumel.
Right.
Or wherever.
You can actually, through almost all the cruise lines,
Yeah.
because we've specified this on our notes, but
Yeah.
I mean, really, all the cruise lines have these
They
packages
do. Yes, they pretty much do it.
that you can purchase, and it usually includes decorating of the room and a cake.
There's always food
Right?
involved. Oh, yeah.
There's
You can
always
order.
food
Yeah.
involved.
So a lot of the cruise lines, as we said, they have these packages that you can buy.
Right.
Now, for instance, as we said, a lot of these cruise lines have packages, special event packages that you can buy. Now, Norwegian Cruise Line, they have like a whole romance package listing. Like they offer all this stuff for however romantic you want to get. And they have like their honeymoon anniversary package. They do like a general romance package, the ultimate romance, the deluxe. It's this, and it's an assortment of like wine, and you get champagne, and maybe it includes a dinner for two or whatever. But there's like 6 different romance packages, and they range from like $179 up until like $499. Again, depending on how much you want to spend.
It depends on your sailing.
Yeah, and what it all entails that you're going to get out of this.
So you can check that out through your booking.
And then, of course, they have the everyday stuff like we did.
Birthdays, anniversaries,
Yeah.
congratulations and bon voyage, and they'll decorate your room. You'll get a cake.
Yeah, maybe it's
you'll
a
get some wine.
Yeah, maybe it's a retirement cruise. Congratulations, you're now off the hook and out of a job. So yeah, they do that. But and then Royal Caribbean, they also you can purchase gifts. Again, the decorations, the cakes, plan a party. There's all sorts of things.
Yeah, I was really impressed with Royal because you can actually send gifts.
Yeah.
Like logo gifts.
Oh, gosh.
I meant to tell you that on our thing. I was looking around on their website, and you can send like T-shirts, and you can send. I'm sure it depends on your sailing.
Right.
Like on our sailing, we could send Dave and Darlene a little stuffed animal.
Oh, wow.
Stuff like that. I mean, I thought that was cool.
It is cool. So you get, they have a lot of stuff. I mean, T-shirts and hats and bathrobes and water bottles and,
They really did have a lot. Yep, I was really excited about that.
Inundate your family and friends with all the gifts you want to buy them.
Now, it specifically with Royal Caribbean, and frankly all of the cruise lines, if you haven't prearranged this, it will be the fee for your cake or your decorating or whatever will be charged to your Sea Pass or your Sail and Sign card. And you're going to need to give them at least 6 to 12 hours notice.
The time to get stuff prepped and done and ready for this occasion. You need to be a little bit of a planner.
And if you don't want to buy a whole cake, cheapos. That's what I'd say.
Who would
cheapo.
not want an entire cake? That's
but
crazy.
if you don't want to buy a whole cake, then you can just simply tell the staff at the main dining room, and they will bring out a little piece.
Yeah. Well, we had
On that special day.
When we had my my birthday dinner at
I bought you a whole damn cake, though, too.
No.
Didn't
well, we won't talk about the cake that was part of the package.
It was a whole cake.
It was a whole cake. And unfortunately, it was horrible. It went into the trash. But when we were at La Cucina for my birthday dinner, they brought out this little cake that Happy Birthday Frank. It was just a little thing. It was the most delicious cake ever. I could smell it coming over to the table.
It was like a vanilla almond, right? A vanilla almond cake with a vanilla almond buttercream, right? Buttercream.
As I said, I could smell it.
And then it had raspberry filling. I think it was raspberry.
And we had just finished
and slivered almonds. Oh my God!
Our regular dessert, and over comes the little birthday cake.
We didn't have a problem.
No, this is us with the fork. But we did take half of it back to the room. Not going to leave it there. So you can go on your cruise during a special event in your life, whichever it may be, and you can count on the cruise lines that they're going to be able to accommodate you for that event. And
now,
whether it's,
you just have to tell them.
Right. It's all a matter of arranging it, and whether you're going to actually get married on the ship, or you're going to get married in port, which they can arrange.
Well, that's a whole other thing we really didn't.
Yeah,
but we only peppered over.
Right, but
which is they have packages for weddings that include photos and flowers,
the whole
and all
shebang.
those things too.
Yeah.
You have to check with your specific cruise line.
And there may be limitations of I know of one that you can get married in a port. They'll arrange the venue. You can invite up to like 10 to 12 people in the group, and they'll provide the refreshments and the drinks and the whatever.
Now, I want to speak to what I've advised my girls, my hair girls, that ask me about this all the time. Because this is a question I get all the time about getting married on a cruise ship or getting married in an all-inclusive. And I usually advise them, get married before you go away. Then you're legally married.
Right.
Right?
I was legally married in the state of New York. Let there be no mistake, I was out on international waters, and my marriage may or may not be legal.
Right. And also, the whole name change thing,
Yeah.
we should talk a little bit about
Right.
that. And that's if you have legally changed your name, because you got married the week before you went away or whatever, that doesn't mean that your legal document has been changed.
Right.
So as far as anybody's concerned, your name is whatever's on your license.
Right. Just
Right?
remember that your identification name must match your cruise ticket passenger name.
Right.
It's all got to match.
Right. So we hope that this has helped you.
Right. So not to be concerned with regards to religious services, and also get you excited for maybe special occasions you might want to celebrate while you're on a cruise.
That's right.
So we want to thank you for joining us today, and we'll be back again to bring some more exciting information your way.
But until next time, remember to always
Travel safe.
and cruise often.